Alright, hello, how are you all doing? I was hoping to get some background music on before I changed scenes over to what we are working on today, but sadly Foundry is taking forever to load. So, we're just gonna be waiting here. It's finally loaded into the game, it's just loading all of the graphics now. And then it should load the sound, and we should be ready to go on at that point. Make sure you guys have something to drink, something to eat. Make sure you get nice and comfortable. We're going to be here for a couple of hours, just working on a D&D game, trying to get some inspiration and creativity juices flowing. Music should start any second. I can actually go ahead and move on over to this screen here. Hello, how are you all doing? Hope you're all doing really well. Hope you've had a great week so far, and hope the rest of your week is going to be even greater. Oh, man. How has everyone been? Everyone been doing well? I have had a pretty nice week. Been recovering from the wedding that I had to go to on Thursday, which is part of the reason why I haven't done any streams last week and have only picked them up this week, because I just need a bit of time to myself without any obligations to get ready for something as crazy as a wedding. Oh my goodness. First wedding I have ever really been to, and it was pretty cool actually. The place that we went was like this huge estate basically. It's a hotel for sure, but it's like this huge estate that just has oh, hold on a second, is there no audio coming through? One second, let me take a look at what's going on here. It says it should be playing something, but I don't hear anything. There we go, how's that? Is that okay? Oh, excuse me. Voice crack. You'd think that I was a teenager or something still. I'm not, I'm 30. Alright, I am going to turn this down a little bit on my side. There we go. But yeah, the wedding. My friend got married, and we've known about it for like months basically. So we've had months to prepare, but you know how it goes. You only really prepare in the last, the last week or so for what you need to do. So it was a rush getting everything together. For them, that is, not for me. I only had to get a suit and book the reservation and then go there myself. Getting there, actually, was terrifying. So, it's in the middle of nowhere, literally nowhere. There's like this really small town that is nearby. The wedding venue that I went at. There's this really small town that's nearby. Let me move this onto this side. Just so that it looks like I'm looking over here. Alright. But yeah, the wedding venue was super nice. It was like huge and in the middle of nowhere. Getting there was a mad trek, honestly. So in London, during the one day that I decided to go out, or the one day that we had agreed to have this wedding on, that had all been planned out for, there were train strikes in the UK throughout the country. Like, National Rail was down, everything was down. So while TFL, Travel for London, was still active, I could, move throughout London without getting too much problems. Sneak attack on the DM, oh no, Liger. Critical hit, man, critical hit. I'm just telling everyone about the wedding thing that I went to lately. And we're also going to be working a bit on some D&D today. Going to try and finish the quest that you guys have been doing in-game. So, no spoilers, Liger. I know you're going to forget, but no spoilers, okay? Yeah, so public transit to the wedding venue was like terrible. Getting there from London was okay, but I had to catch like trains and then like a series of buses outside of London to get to where I needed to go. Honestly though, it really wasn't that much of a problem. Like, the one train that I had to get was fine, the one bus that I had to get was fine, so it was really just anxiety that really caught me off there with the wedding. Or with getting there at least. But once I got off the bus, it was meant to be like a simple like 10-minute walk to the venue. But what they didn't tell you is that there's no sidewalk along the very, very country-ass road that you have to cross in order to get there. And I don't have a car. So, you can't expect a Londoner, someone who has the privilege of public transport, and a very good public transport service to boot, to walk down a country road like that. And on the way back, my friend told me, my friend is one of the bridesmaids, we met up after the wedding and we all had like just a fun time speaking together and catching up and everything. But she told me that the speed on that thing was like 70 miles an hour. I would not have walked down that road if I knew that was 70 miles an hour going down there. Fortunately, I only passed by like 2 vehicles on the way there. But once I got there, it was no problem. I met my friend, and then we were doing all the walking for sure. Is it showing up on? Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and test something here. I need to see. Oh yeah, it is working. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with the chat. I think I want the chat to stick around a bit longer. So let me just try and edit this. Is there a way to keep it on there for longer? Always show messages. There is. Done. Okay. Now instead of chat fading, it should stay there for a while. But yeah, I met my friend there, we had a conversation, I booked my room, I couldn't find where my room was. The place was a labyrinth trying to get there. But I found my friend and I eventually found my room, put it away. Forever test, there we go. Hopefully that message should stay there now. And I think it should even be there if I move on to this. Let me go ahead and move on to the screen here. Where is the chat? I think the chat is up there in the top above my name. Hold on, this music does not work at all. This is some kind of ambient music. Let's go ahead and get, I think, Daybreak. I like Daybreak. Where is Daybreak? There it is. Of Legends Past, here we go. This is a nice soundtrack. Gonna turn it down a little bit. But yeah, one of the first things that happened after I put my suitcase away is we were trying to figure out where the wedding was being held, where the service was being held. It was meant to like happen like within like 10 minutes or so of us like getting there. So we were wandering around trying to figure out where the heck to go, and I hear a voice behind me and it's like, hey, like we're up here. And I turn around. I'm deaf. I can't, like, I have trouble locating noises like around me, and I'm just like, where the heck did that come from? My friend pointed out that there was the groom was actually like calling us over because they know that I'm partially deaf. And they were like, hey, the wedding's up here, guys. So we go up there, we go up to the service. There's like everyone's already in their seats, apart from us. So we just stand there being like, okay, we need to find a seat. We go ahead and we look for seats, can't find a seat. Can't find any seat at all. We stand around there like a couple of you know, fishes, like wide-eyed fish just with mouths open, being like, where are we going? And eventually, I think it was the wedding photographer came by and was like, hey, are you guys going to sit down? And we were like, yeah, sure, but we don't know where to sit. And he went off, he asked a few people, and then the groom turned around and said, like, pointed us out the seat. And it was literally front row. We got front row seats to this venue, which is amazing. We are really good friends with the bride, the groom, and all the bridesmaids as well. But it was just, it felt special being there at the front. Like, everyone had already been there. So it's not like, you know, it's not like there was how do I say this? It's not like you find the seat you want and then you take it, right? Because otherwise I'm pretty sure the front seat would have been taken already. Those seats seem to have been reserved for us. Front row, very fancy. But yeah, we eventually get there, we sit down, and soon enough music starts playing. Once the music starts playing, we're told to stand. We go ahead and we stand up, and we see the little flower girls come by. They were like, I think they were like less than 10 years old or something, super cute. But they were just like throwing flower petals all over the place. One of the girls was very pedantic about where she placed exactly every flower petal. It was so cute. She would like literally like inside her basket, pulled out one, put it on the floor, pulled out another, put it on the floor. It was really sweet. And we ended up taking a while, actually. We're just there looking and smiling at this little girl as she's doing all of her things. The music stops playing. They had issues with the music. It was awkward, for sure. But it was still like really cool to be there. I don't think there can be like a such an important event without a bit of awkwardness, honestly. A lot of people try to avoid awkwardness, but honestly, awkwardness is just a thing. Like, just try to enjoy it if you can. Eventually, the bridesmaids come out, and I'm trying to look for my one bridesmaid friend. So, the groom who was getting married, not the groom, the bride who was getting married, I met her in university. And her and the head bridesmaid, what is it? Is that what it's called? Head bridesmaid? I'm sure there's a word for it. But her and this bridesmaid, like, are from the same university. Like, they're my social circle, essentially. They, what's the word? Sorry, the music is distracting my brain a little bit here. Let's go ahead and turn that down a little bit. Yeah. So I'm there trying to keep an eye out for my friend who's part of the bridesmaids, and I'm like, I can't see her. And they all like eventually sit down in front of us, because there's like one more seat where all the bridesmaids sit. So they sit down in the front when they all come through, and I'm like, I can't see my friend, where is she? And I'm like, oh, maybe she's the head bridesmaid, so maybe she has something else to do. I turn around, and the person sitting next to me, who is my friend's girlfriend, who we met up with before and we sat down with all together. I turn around and look to my right, and I see somebody sitting next to her, and I'm like, wait, who is that? I look, and she's wearing like the bridesmaids' colors. Like they all wore like this like really nice like satin brown, or it's not even like a brown. It's kind of like a brownish beige. It looked really cool. Almost had like a bit of lavender coloration to it as well. And I'm like, wait, what's a bridesmaid doing sitting here? And I look, and I'm like, who are you? It was my friend. She looked so different with all her makeup on, and I swear, like, she looked like a bronze goddess. It was like, it was shocking to see the difference between what she'd like every day and versus how much she had prepared for this one day. So I'm like, holy shit, is that you? And soon enough, after that, the bride came out. And walking with her father, they all get up to the front registry. Is that what it's called? The front registry? Makeup can... It absolutely can. I did not expect it to be such a thorough job, though. Her hair was completely different from what I expected it. Like, her skin, like, it looked like a different, like... She's, like, you know, plaster white normally. But, like, she looked like she had been in, like, you know, the sun for, like, you know... She got like a really, really nice like suntan or something. It honestly looked like that, and I'm like, okay, wow. But yeah, the bride came up. The bride got to stood side by side with the groom. Her father walked her up, and then the priest, I think it is. The priest started like announcing everything. My friends aren't really religious or anything. So it was more like a legal binding than anything else. It wasn't like, you know, Catholic or Protestant or, you know, any of that. It wasn't one of those types of ceremonies. But... Oh, hang on a second. Is this chat... There we go. Let's do something like that. Okay, I didn't realize chat was being cut off by the follower goal. Yeah, so the priest starts talking. And the one thing that I remember about the priest is it honestly didn't seem like he was making it special. Like one of the things that I remember him saying the most is, you know, in the eyes of the law, yada yada yada. Like there was nothing like, you know, hey, this is a magical moment. It was more like, you know, you're here, you're getting married, this is the ceremony to make the law know that you're married, right? And he just kept going on and on about how the law did this and the law does this and that and this is what it means legally. Like whenever he said anything like remotely important, he clarified it by saying, legally speaking, of course. Come on, man. I know your job is there to, you know, legally wed two people together, but you know. After that, we all went down to get some food, and then we all started to chill out. But I think that is enough of a wedding talk for now. Let me see, how long into the stream are we? I currently cannot tell. Oh, 22 minutes. About 10 of those was waiting for Foundry to load. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is the party. We are today working on finishing the Memory Cave quest. So, Liger is one of my players, he is currently in chat. But he promises me that he has the memory of a goldfish, and I have told him, hey, if you don't want to get spoiled, don't come into stream. I'm not going to stop you if you want to come into stream, but if I notice you, you know, if I notice you, like, metagaming based on knowledge on the stream, I might actually ban you from these streams. Nothing like, you know, nothing meant for hostility's sake, but, you know, I trust that you have a bad memory. But anyway, so, this is the map that we worked on. This is what it looks like in-game. You forgot the town, fair enough. You absolutely did. So here we go. The map looks dark right now. Does this map look dark? This map isn't dark. Okay. So when we were working on this, on the stream last time, we were basically fleshing out the NPCs who live here. Also, is the sound volume okay? Can you hear me and can you hear the music okay? I'm normally conscious when the sound gets this loud in my ears. So let me know if the audio balance is okay, or if you want it to be like turned up or down in any way. But yeah, regardless, we populated this town. We filled it up with NPCs and places. We gave each NPC a sort of like unique trait or quirk. So what happened in the game? Yeah, so the party traveled here, and they had a few encounters on the way here. One encounter was an encounter with... Maybe turn the music up a little bit. Okay, I'm not sure how I can do that. If I do... I'm gonna take my headphones off, because this might get a bit loud for me. I can see the audio levels. Okay, if I do that, the audio levels rise. And if I do this... That looks like it's at the same volume, right? Okay. Let me turn this down to 50. 52 is close enough. There we go. Is that better, Liger? Or is that a bit too loud now? Oh, this is taking a second to load. Okay, much better. Oh, fantastic. Okay. I now know what level I need to have this at. Thank you for being my second pair of ears. Let me see. If I go to... Where is it? OneNote? Yeah, so here we go. Let's transition to here. Let me go ahead and zoom on in so we can see it on stream. So, we have... This is what happened last session. So let me do... session 8. collecting memories. So this part here is the recap. So yeah, they started off in the town, in the city of Luxuria, and they, let me go back to here. So they started off in the town of Luxuria, the city of Luxuria. And we can see that if we go over to here we go. So they started off over here, and then they teleported for the evening over to the Dragon Cave, which is basically their hideout. Where there was a bit of roleplay about some of the players who have never, or some of the characters who have never been to the Dragon Cave, figuring out that, hey, these guys have a Dragon Cave, right? And they have like a lot of money. I think I've showed this before, but this is what the Dragon Cave looks like. Once it loads here. Here we go. So yeah, all of this gold is actually here. The only difference is the kobolds at one point were instructed to pile them up by their leader, which was one of the party members. So there was a bit of roleplay about, holy crap, you guys have a lot of money, and how much money they take, and you know what they do. I think Dune over here decides to actually go and sleep in some money, like in a muddy pile, which caused like a lot of the neatly organized piles to fall down and clatter. It was pretty cool. And then Lotus here, who is basically the de facto head of this Dragon Cave, conversed with some of the NPCs who are currently working in mining. These are these guys over here. I have them faded out because they were all asleep during the time. What's not shown on this map is there would be like tents all the way around this this exterior perimeter here, filled with these workers basically. So he was talking with them about some things. Spoke with a Dragonborn member of the guard here. Let me go ahead and bring him up. Gnarthir. Gnarthir had a bit of backstory with another one of the player characters called Bianca, but I'm not going to get too much into that right now. AMC Journal, biography, here we go. Oh, that's the basic biography stuff. But yeah, they spoke with them a little bit, basically just being like, hey, watch out for the kobolds, they've turned rogue, they're no longer listening to Lotus anymore, for some reason that I'm not going to quite get into. Oh, one second, there's a moth who wants to get out. There you go, little buddy. Okay. So there's a bit of roleplay that happened here, and then he decides to teleport on back to Luxuria and head on the road towards Cades, the town that we worked on last DnD planning stream. They had two events on the road there. Let me go ahead and go to here. So they met the Sentinels. So the Sentinels are like a really big and really important group in my setting, because the entire game is centered around this like alien threat, this extraterrestrial threat that's threatening the world. The actual Sentinels are basically the first line of defense, and they are based like, oh, hold on, let me go to here. These guys are based out of just like anywhere really, like. So they met with Astria, Atlas, and Pandora, who are 3 of the 5 members, or 6 members. Astria is based in Gallibly, Atlas is based in Elvenor, and Pandora is based in Trishka, not Trishka, in Cinderia, where everyone is right now. So if we return back to here, so Atlas is based over here. Atlas is normally based over in Nemel, though he spent a lot of time in Armello. We have Pandora, who exists up here in Cinderia, and her home is actually up here in Battaglia. We can get a bit more into Pandora's role in a second, because she is probably one of the most notable members of the Astral Sentinels. And then the last one is Astria. Astria serves the ruler of Gallibly. She's basically the court mage of Gallibly. Recently, the party have caused a bit of upset with the order. How do I say this? They challenged. They got the previous ruler of Gallipoli to yield, basically, and hand the country over to his daughter, who wanted to use the magics associated with the title of ruler to try and protect the world from the aliens, which is something that the previous ruler, the Don, couldn't do, or chose not to do. So they met those individuals, so let me pull them up here. So we have Astria Bellatrix over here. She is a wizard. She is an enchantment wizard. We have Atlas over here, who is based around a Horizon Walker. And we have Pandora here, who is essentially a storm sorcerer. It's not quite one for one, like Garden's innocent. Yeah. Garden is innocent. Yeah, these NPCs have have abilities that are based on the classes. So, for instance, let me see. Astria over here has split enchantment, for instance. I'm not sure how well that shows up on screen, but it's there anyway. She also has a couple of other features as well, but she mostly specializes in enchantment here. Atlas here is a planeswalker, and he has a unique weapon called Reap and Sow, and he has the planar rapier as well. But what being a Horizon Walker basically gives him is he can teleport slightly between attacks. So that's Atlas, and then Pandora here looks like she has a lot of actions here. She does, and she also had a lot of spells here. Notably Meteor Swarm. We'll get into that in a second. But yeah, the party met these individuals on the road, and the reason why they were on the road is there was a meteorite strike that was about to happen nearby. And these meteors typically carry aliens. So there was a meteor strike nearby. The Astral Sentinels had predetermined that this thing was going to fall, and they were at the scene to try and mitigate any damage that was going to be caused by it. Let me go and press the transition button here. So here we go. They met the Sentinels, Atlas, Astria, and Pandora, told the party they were going to investigate the Wild Huntsman location in Elvenor. They believe it is still there somehow. So the Wild Huntsman is one of these big NPCs. Don't need to get too much into it, but Wild Huntsman is quite important for the party right now. And they don't know where it is, but they suspect that it's in Elvenor somewhere. They then arrived in Cades. One of the things I didn't write here, they had an encounter with air elementals. So let me see if I can find the map that we used here. Typically, if I have a visual reference, it typically helps me figure out where... Storm Battle? Not Storm Battle. Forest Road? I think it was Forest Road. Yeah, this was it. So, the party got caught up in a bit of a storm. They had an encounter with 3 air elementals, and they basically survived. The main struggle there was getting back the arrows that flew out of our ranger's quiver, basically, because of the mad storm. They also couldn't move around too much. So once they dealt with that, then they met the Astral Sentinels afterwards, and then they proceeded on to the location of the quest. Cades here. And then they basically went around, they spoke with a few people. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you. I didn't press the transition button here. I'm still getting used to transitioning scenes here. Here we go. So they got here, they basically asked around, and the first place that they went to was Logan's Lodge, which is the inn. They met Logan, and they met Astaro, who is the owner of the Butchers. They conversed for a little bit before going to sleep, and in the next morning, they figured out, Pandora also went with them, by the way. So they have one of the Sentinels with them. But they found out that there is strange soil that is being used for like plants and the gardens around the town. And they realized that there are these strange insects within them. There are a variety of like worms and beetles and all other kinds of stuff inside these this soil, and they are not like naturally occurring creatures. They seem to be alien creatures in themselves. Garden here knows locate creature, and I had it act a little bit differently for the purposes of foreshadowing in this quest. So instead of locating one creature, which they were locating the alien that they were looking for, they actually Garden actually got 3 pings on his locate creature. He got 1 in Logan's Lodge, 1 in the Hearty Hiker Tavern, and 1 in the Ecclesia of Euphories, which is the church in town. So they go around and they investigate each one of these. In Logan's Lodge, they find out that Logan... I actually can't remember what they found out about Logan here. But they conversed with Logan. They thought that he was a little bit strange. They went over to the church afterwards, and they found that a lot of the soil is being used for the topiaries and all of that, that is being used around the ecclesia. They speak with the Papa, who is the head priest, Papa Cherish, I believe his name was. And they ask, hey, where's the soil from? And they say, the soil has been around for a long time. Soil is most concentrated over towards the east because, a lot of the soil is brought over from the east because that's where the miners do their mining, basically. And they just bring back some dirt and soil for just typical grass maintenance, honestly. So they're like, okay, this is weird. And Dune being the hard-headed individual that she is, was like, okay, I'm gonna attack the ground. And I believe she got the better of just, randomly attacking the ground. And she decided against it. So they go around and they ask around, what's going on. They find out that Logan and Astari, the owner of the Butchers, have been going out hunting recently, and they had another member with them by the name of Achman, who really wanted to, or who typically goes on these hunting trips with them, but recently he'd gone missing, and they went to Riveri Salient Souls, who is run by the matron of this farm over here, of the Owless Farm, who is upset that basically her son Achman is not here anymore. And she said that the 2 people who he usually goes out hunting with have been pretty silent about the matter, so she asked them to go and investigate it. So soon after, they go out and they start exploring towards the east. They go ahead and they find this memory cave, but not before coming across a desiccated corpse filled with insects. The fighter, Bianca, has this unique wisp-light lantern. Wisp-light lantern. I believe this is from the Griffin Saddlebag. Yeah, TSG-1. But this thing is super cool. It has a wisp inside of it that generates light, and you can spend a charge of it to press it into a body and recount the last 6 seconds of its life. You don't see anything else other than how the creature reacted. But they use this and they determine that this creature, this body that they see, was fighting something, and it was killed by it, and then it slowly got up again. That's implying that it was raised by necromantic magic. They also see a strange light from a nearby road, and when they go and check, it is one of these things. This is basically a crystal golem. It seems to be inactive, it's not really moving about, and this one isn't actually a threat. At least not yet, anyway. So they go and they investigate it. They notice that it reflects light oddly and it's really hard to see. That is basically foreshadowing for when they came into this cave here, and they go down and look into this crater here, this ravine. When they shine light across it, the light just illuminates the entire area and completely blinds them. I think Lotus, the monk, sends down a bird, his familiar, to go and take a look down what's in here, and they do see what's going on around here. But not before his bird was attacked by a creature, a lightning source. And that was wasn't the end of that bird. He did disperse the bird and then make it reappear above, where he is at. And then they investigate these crystals, and they realize that these crystals are projecting light. So they're like, okay, let's go through it. They go down here, they do the first puzzle, they do the second puzzle, and they do the third puzzle, before they enter on into here. And this is where a lot of stuff happens. So they engaged with Herenia here, who is this Medusa creature that we worked on the other day. And as you can tell by the fact that she has 0 hit points, they killed her. And I think this encounter went okay. Like it, if you remember it, let me know what you thought of the encounter. But basically, I had the thought that if they come in through this way, they wouldn't immediately alert the Medusa, because the Medusa would think, oh, the only creature that can go through that way is the alien that I'm, helping out with, the alien who I partnered up with. But it didn't take too long before she started hearing the party actually speaking, and she'd like, wait, that doesn't sound like them. I think we have intruders. So she goes ahead and she moves through and she attacks the party. I describe it as them seeing this strange mask reflecting through all of these crystals. And then an arrow suddenly flies out of nowhere and attacks whoever's out in front. So we roll initiative, and for maybe a good round or two, they are trying to figure out where this creature is. They can't see it. The creature moves through the crystal and moves above it. You find it was good? It got two people petrified, forced Garden to have his diamond broken down into dust. Yeah, absolutely. And also I found out on that session that it's super easy to break diamonds. Diamonds are the hardest substance ever, but you can I think they're brittle, right? You can easily crush a diamond. But yeah, they engage in battle. A few rounds pass where they're like, I don't know where this creature is. What they had to do was they had to shine bright light on in an area on the space where she is at, or either that or do an AoE effect on her to knock her into view, basically. Tough but brittle, yeah. So they do that, and immediately, as soon as she's revealed, she's basically dead at that point. So Lotus is able to detect thoughts. So Lotus knows within this area here, this blue area here, Lotus knows when this creature is within its area, not specifically where, but he'll know that, hey, the creature is over, the creature is within 30 feet of us right now. And he starts reading this thing's thoughts, and he can tell the surface thoughts are oh, phew, that was close, they didn't see me, and oh, that orc that ran past me is silly, right? But yeah, as soon as she is revealed, she gets knocked off from her pedestal, from her crystal enclosure, and immediately is grappled, is stabbed, is attacked, all sorts, and she doesn't survive. And I'm like, oh, well, there we go. There goes, an NPC that has quite a bit to her, but hey, that's what happens sometimes, right? And then they go ahead and they start to explore. It is a bit pretty cramped moving around here, and Lotus eventually gets to here. Now, this is where the Medusa basically lives. And he finds a series of memory crystals depicting parts of her life. These crystals here all seem to be receptive to memory. And I described it as you can implant a memory into one of these things, and then you can hold it and basically use an action to read whatever memory is in it, and you'll experience it as if you were in that memory. So that's kind of the magic here. The session ended with these people here trying to figure out what's through this door, and they opened the door, and they see basically several crystals here. This is going to be something that I need to work on a little bit, because I'm not quite satisfied with the ending that I currently have planned. And let me see. Also during that, 2 people got petrified, as Liger mentioned. 2 people got petrified. Lotus and Zithril here. Now, Lilith here is she is a Drake Warden. So this is her Drake Warden companion. Zithril got petrified and turned to crystal alongside Lotus. Now Zithril and Lilith are like super duper close. So this was like a really difficult time for Lilith. She was like screaming out in pain and agony based on, based on Zithril basically being turned to stone and her not being able to do anything about it. Garden, who is our cleric and who is Liger's character, had quite a good character moment where he gets overwhelmed by the sounds of panic of the party, and he's like, okay, I need to do this, and oh no, I can't do this, right? Like, it was super cool to watch. Eventually, he does manage to get through to Lotus, unpetrify him, and also get through to Zithril and unpetrify him. So this is where we're at the moment. Now, there's going to be two characters that are not really, or two players that won't be present next campaign, or next game. And that is going to be, that is going to be Storm here, his player's on vacation. And Lilith. Lilith's player is having a birthday this weekend. So they won't be here for this game either. But they basically said, hey, like, Lilith isn't really going to, like, participate after what's happened. Like, she's probably going to go away for a little bit and then rejoin a bit later. Because this was, like, quite a harrowing thing to experience for her, watching her only companion kind of, like, turn into this crystal substance and really not being able to do anything about it. So that leaves me with... that leaves us. That leaves us with figuring out what exactly is happening. And now, this has been about 15 minutes of me talking about the build-up and the lead-up and some exposition. I think we should start getting into some planning. So, what do we have here? So, we're going to be picking up when Dune opens this and is trying to get everyone else to come on by. Let me see, Pandora's still with them, yeah. So what we have in here is we have a series of crystals. Now these crystals are going to be parts of the memories that they need to obtain. So they came here for the memories of Larissa Vale Varys. These crystals over here, you can't really see them too well because there are hidden NPCs here. So if I move them out of the way, you can see, oh yeah, we can actually use their light. So you can see that these blue things here. Now these are going to be the crystals that they need to restore Larissa's memory. But they have a choice here, basically. I feel like I know what they're going to do. They're not going to just like take these crystals and then bugger off and, not fix the memory of Larissa Vale Varys, who is the person that they need the memories from. Or the person whose memory they need to fix. So, as a recap, Larissa Vale Varys is an NPC who they went to try and find, to get the to get the admiration of a Pegasi, who basically bestowed Larissa's sword on them. He basically bestowed Larissa's sword on them as sort of like a, hey, find out about this character, bring this character back to me. Like I am basically like her mount or whatever. And if you do that, then I'll bless you. So that's kind of like the setup to why they want this this mission to succeed. So if they don't give back the memory, then Larissa's memory can't be fixed, and they can't return back to the Pegasi. So, what I'm not sure about is I'm not sure about when exactly, or if I should have the main alien enemy come by and fight these guys. So, in playing the game the other day, the last session, I kind of had this idea that the alien is not like actually whole. The alien is spread around throughout the soil and throughout the land. And this isn't all bad because like the alien is actually like blessing the land with like bountiful harvest basically. I described how all the plants are like, coming to luscious life, how it's doing like really, really well for everyone. But at the same time, like, what other conclusion is there going to be other than that, right? I don't feel like it's satisfying to have a campaign end when everyone is expecting to fight a monster at the end of it. Oh, sorry, a mission to end if they expect there to be a monster at the end of it, and they're like, there's no monster, what? So that's what we're going to work on now. So if I swap on back over to the notes here, and then let's go to the quick list development. Is this the right page? This is the right page. Let me go ahead and zoom on in. I wish I could... Can I move this aside? I can. Can I actually just like right click over here? No. Okay. Let me see. Why why are they rescuing her? Because shiny sword. Yeah, basically because shiny sword. How did she get captured? This is a bit of exposition here. How can she be freed? I think I need to go over to this side. Head to Luxuria. Okay, here we go. So this is what I have for the plot flow right now. This is basically how I expect this quest to go. So right now it is... Can I reduce this by 1? I can. So right now it's about... Plot flow is to head to Luxuria. You can't quite see because my camera is a bit in the way. There we go, that should be okay. And also the chat's in the way, but it should be fine. So they head to Luxuria, they're directed to caves, and they get to the memory cave. They've basically done all of this right now. So I need to, like, figure out where to go from here, basically. One of the main themes, so this is something I like to do, is figure out the theme of whatever it is that I'm working on. So the main theme right now is memories, and also a little bit of cooperation. So the reason why I bring cooperation up is this alien is, like, the party you're going in think that this alien is evil, right? So, initial conception of the Zion, evil and needs to be stopped. But what's actually happened so far? What have they seen about the Zion right now? Firstly, they have seen that the Zion has spread these insects around, or these insects are somehow associated with this Zion, this alien. And they are actually, like, helping and nourishing the earth. So, Zion's insects are helping the earth's soil. What else have they noticed as well? So in one of the memories, only Lotus has seen this so far, only the monk has seen this so far, but in one of the memories of the Medusa, you see, they saw that the Medusa was already in this cave, and then this very hurt Zion came by. This, like, collaboration of insect that took sort of like humanoid form and then put on a alabaster mask. Came into the cave, and they didn't fight. They were like, okay, let's, you know, keep you over there, me over here. But the Medusa was, like, receptive to this creature because it's one of the only creatures that has ever looked at her and not transformed into stone, right? So she's like, it could be cool to have another sentient creature around that doesn't turn to stone and that doesn't, like, hate me for it, right? So that's kind of what we're going for here. Cooperation between Zion and the Medusa. So these are the two things that make me think of cooperation. So let me do cooperation examples. Here we go. And then memories, it should be plenty clear what the memories, what's going on here. So when it comes to memory examples, we have the memory crystals. And we also have Larissa's memory deficit. How do you spell that word? Deficit. Okay, cool. Deficit. So they're coming here to restore Larissa's memory to free her. What else is it about memories? So memory crystals. This is important. Like, this is basically like the MacGuffin of the the quest right now. So they need the memory crystal that hold Larissa's memories to what's the word? To fix her, basically. To fix her mind. I'm just gonna go ahead. So I'm juggling a ball right now. I do this whenever I'm trying to think of something. I don't think there's much else that I need to add here for now. So I don't need to add an example of memory crystals. So let's see. We have Crystal Medusa, shunned, cursed individual who meets their social need by viewing the memories which the Zion has deposited in the cave. It was a very gruesome death. Garden almost vomited. Yeah, the murder of the Medusa was pretty gruesome. Like, Lilith had decapitated the creature and stabbed its head into one of the crystal spikes over and over again, and it was so disfigured at that point. Part of the reason why I think Garden was so so upset when it came around to him having to work something out, right? Relation with the Zion. Zion wasn't petrified looking at her. I wish I could middle mouse click on this page. Two have coexisted. Zion understands the Medusa helps her protect the cave, and the Medusa understands that Zion is an outcast like her. So that's kind of building into the theme of cooperation, right? So one very good piece of advice that I have heard from plotting, or if you're ever stuck on plotting, one of the best things I have ever heard is if you're stuck plotting forwards, plot backwards. What that causes is it's difficult to come up with something on a blank piece of paper, right? I'm sure many of you have tried before to just think of something, you have the blank piece of paper in front of you, or you have the blank document in front of you, and just nothing comes to your mind. Maybe you get one or two steps into whatever you're thinking about. Yeah, Garden didn't want to kill the Medusa. Yeah. Difficult to not kill the Medusa if there is the entire party that wants to kill it still, though. And at that point they had literally no information about what this creature was, so, to be expected. But yeah, plot backwards. If you're stuck plotting forwards, figure out how you want it to end first. Start with the ending, and then plot backwards. If you get stuck doing that, then start plotting forward a little bit again. Your brain is really, really good at filling in gaps. So if it knows where it needs to go, it kind of figures out the route to get there, which is really cool. Right now, I don't necessarily know how I want this to end. So what kind of commentary do I want about cooperation? So I want to say that. What do I want to say? I want to say that cooperation between aliens and the world can work. What is it? You have to accept the good for the bad, maybe? Have to accept the bad with the good. So that's kind of making me think that they do have the option to kill the Zion, but it will ruin the soil, right? So that's a good idea. So what I could do in that case, I could have there be a partial manifestation. But let's go ahead and have a partial manifestation of the Zion in the cave. When the Zion is killed, have the greenery in the cave wilt and die. So the problem is there's no greenery in the cave right now. If I return back to the Foundry page, you can essentially see that there is no greenery. If I move this around, this is a crystal floor. There's no greenery or anything around here, right? So instead, what we can do is we can have the area out here actually get, can I get someone here who can actually see in color? No. Let me go ahead and copy one of these, can you see in color down here? No. Okay. Let me go and grab one of these guys. Here we go. So here we go. What we can do is we can have, like, all the trees out here die. I will need to make a new map resource for this, basically. But we could do something like that. If we have the... if we change the texture out here... there's no good without some bad, exactly. What this will do is... it'll tell the party that, hey, if we kill... like, if we kill this Zion has, like, had a huge impact on the natural world around this area right now. If we kill it, we destroy, like, all of the crops and all of the greenery around in the area, right? So we can have something like that. Now, this isn't... I'm sure someone has plant growth, for instance, so they have ways to work around this, if they want to, like, fix it. I think Garden might even have, plant growth. I'm actually gonna go ahead and spy on that a little bit. Let me see. Plant. Oh no, that was your previous character, if I remember right. I think maybe... where is it? Maybe Lilith has it. No, Lilith only has speak with plants. But yeah, if we have a partial manifestation happen, let me go ahead and transition back to here. Yeah, Rin has it. Okay. If we head back to here, coming here to restore memories, where were we? Corporation, partial manifestation, here we go. So partial manifestation of the Zion in the cave. So I'm going to need to work on a stat block for that. When the Zion is killed, have the greenery in the cave wilt and die. Implication. Kill the Zion. Destroy the crops. Nice simple conceit and nice simple moral challenge, right? With a bit of forewarning to inform the party that, hey, this is exactly what's going on. Let me see. The only other problem that I have here... I'm trying to think about how the manifestation takes place. If the manifestation takes place, like, suddenly... I don't know how to word what I'm thinking. So, one of the big concerns that the party have right now is that this Zion is going to, like, cause problems for the party, for the people who live there, right? Who live in the town of Cade that we've been working on. And I'm not sure whether I want to communicate that this Zion is okay, or whether or not the Zion is still, like, out there to destroy the place, right? We could have it be that the Zion kind of realized that coexistence can work between the two, just not in a hostile way. So we can maybe have that be something that the Zion obtained from the... from the Medusa, right? But I'm pretty sure the two would have tried to communicate with each other at some point. So here we go, relation with Zion. Zion believes now that coexistence can work, but only without hostility. There we go. And yeah, the other issue that we have, or that I have, sorry, is my initial idea of why the Zion is out, like, doing what it's doing. It is trying to find its master. It knows that its master is somewhere on the material plane, somewhere on the planet. But it doesn't know where, and it can't communicate with it. So, it's trying to obtain the memories from anyone that comes by. To try and be like, hey, have you seen my master, basically. Let me see if I've written this anywhere. I'm going to zoom out for a little bit. Lion Mage. Yeah, here we go. This is it. So, Zion Mage collects memories of those around it to try and find where Dalzagotl landed. Dalzagotl is someone that the party haven't met yet, and is a very important creature. It is another Moon Lord, and Moon Lords are basically what the party are trying to find and use to resolve the main quest. So let me see, where do we go? Down here. Oh no, up here. Where did I write theme? Theme up here. Okay, so let's go ahead and embolden this. Memories Corporation. Initial concept of the Zion. The Zion is our alien friend, remember? So corporation examples, memory examples. I feel like I've lost the thought that I was about to follow up with. Okay. So let's go with Zion Belief. Ah yes, I remember. I wanted to figure out if there is a way... So let's see. Is there a way to hint toward Dalzagotl in this quest? So how could we, like, hint at that this thing is trying to find its master? Earlier on they had to go through a series of 3 puzzles to get through to where this room in the dungeon that they're in. And the puzzles that I have are down here. Not that one. Where is it? Cave entrance, crevasse. Here we go. So they've done a few puzzles, and some of these puzzles have said, for instance, the Master of Absolute Reason is rewarding to his servants on Winthos with food for the day. Before him lies prostrated are 2 fathers and their 2 sons, each are to be fed an ore fruit. What must be true about the Winthians that allows the Master to give each a whole fruit each? This also reminds me, if I need to go back to countries, denizens, I need to go to here and say, what is it? What is the name? Oh, hello there, hungry kobold. How's it going? I hope you are not too hungry. I hope you have recently fed, because let me tell you, us humans, we don't taste good. What is it? Is it fauna or flora for plants? I think it's flora for plants. Flora, or fruit. What is it, or fruit? Or fruit. Oh yeah, I should zoom in a little bit for you guys. Or fruit is an edible substance, edible fruit. Fruit that grows naturally on Zetathos. So Zetathos is our moon, and it is inhabited and it has life on it. Just doing this for my future sake. Your backup for the campaign you're in would disagree with the taste comment. Oh, really? What else can you tell us about that? Have they had human flesh before? Flora for plants, fauna for animals. Thank you very much, Liger. Let me head back to here. So we've kind of hinted that there is like something out there. There's a thing called the Master of Absolute Reason. Now I'm pretty sure the party haven't like clocked onto that right now. I feel like they haven't quite clocked onto this like very light hinting, which is fine. I don't need to remind them about it again. Let me see, where's the part that I need to scroll back up to? Plot flow, memory examples, beliefs. Is there a way to hint toward Dalzagotl in this quest? So I've already hinted there, but I need to, like, I want to give them a follow-up lead. Give them a loose follow-up lead. So I know exactly where this creature is. It is based in a country that the party have not yet been to. And I know what it's doing as well. It has basically attached itself to this school of magic. Oh, here we go, let me see. She is a Floran from Starbound, but D&D-ified, to be a creature created by a bored god, so she is one of a kind and a pure meat-eater, or carnivorous plant. And she doesn't care where the meat comes from, she will eat it for survival needs, and she thinks like a feral animal. Oh. I'm glad that you've been inspired by the Florans from Starbound. Typically when you think of like a plant-based creature, you think maybe more whimsical, more spell-based, but no, the Florans from Starbound are like berserkers. They are like, you know, cavemen basically. So super cool to hear that you got inspiration from them. I have a homebrew plant race called the Alron. Of course, it's the Alron. And they're more magical than they are like more physically based. So I kind of fell into that same trap of being like, hey, my plant people are magic. She'll also give hell to the DM if she wants to be stealthy because of her passives. Ooh. You just think of Plantera from Terraria for plant people? So, from the sound of that, Kobold, it sounds like your character's like super duper stealthy then. How did you get her to be so stealthy? Is she a rogue? She has 21 passive perception, 17 passive investigation, and 19 passive insight. Oh my goodness. Oh, I gotta tell you though, as a DM, I really love it when players find my hidden shit. My last game that we did, we had a random encounter where there were a bunch of basilisks hidden under a overturned cart, and they needed to roll like a passive or like a investigation check of 17. And I was so happy when they did. And it does depend on the DM though. I do understand that for a few DMs, having such high insight, such high passive perception and investigation can be a bit frustrating at times. But I find that most of the time I am just so happy that they found all this stuff. Yeah, it was the orc of all people as well. And let me go ahead and show you this orc. Load up Foundry here, go ahead and press the transition button. So this is Dune. Here we go, where player characters, Dune the Undead. So this is Dune's stats. I'm not sure how well, can you guys see that okay? I'm just going to check on my stream preview here to see how big this comes up as. It's not very big at all, okay. But this is the orc. Her stats, by the way, are from lowest to highest. Int and charisma is 8. 8 int and you have such high passive investigation. That is super good. Strength at 10, 14 con, 17 wisdom, and 20 dexterity at level 5. Ooh, yeah. I have one character who managed to get a high enough starting ability score due to one of the rolls. That she started off with a natural, or with a 20 in one of her stats. We use point. Oh, you use point buy. How do you get 20 on a point buy? I am really interested in that. Let me see. What's the highest in point buy? Isn't the highest is the highest 16 or is the highest 15? I can't quite remember. It's been ages since I used a point buy. But yes, Dune here. Dune's investigation is... Oh, it's not bad. It's actually a +1. Can I actually zoom in on this? I can't. That's fine. Highest is 15. Okay. But yeah, the orc with a +1 in investigation rolled a 17 on her investigation check, which is like a pretty low odds. You need to roll a 16, and I think the odds of that are like, what? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You have like... Is that 25% chance? I don't know exactly how the math works on that. Not very likely, but she got it. So I was super happy when they found that, and now they have a bunch of baby basilisks to look after, which is going to be a cool thing going forward. But yeah, let's go ahead and head back to... a mix of feats since the DM let us have a free feat from the start of the game. That is the correct choice, honestly. I play with that rule as well, though my players have to pick from a specific list of feats that I allow at first level, which are basically racial feats. And you use the custom lineage race. Start with a feat, so you got 2 free feats off. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Custom lineage is so good. You can make so many things with it. It's a really good addition. I'll go ahead and show off an example that I have used. Back up an empty sheet. So I played this character called Uzuzu. They actually don't have feats in your list, right, Charles? They do have feats. This was the character that I played. We played this character in Tomb of Annihilation. She's evil, and she's basically worshipped by the Vegapygmies as a flame goddess. And she can basically like go into lava. We homebrewed a feat that she can go into lava, and she is basically a rune knight. 2 free feats at the start of the game. You got with Squat Nimbleness and Observant. Ooh, interesting. I'm gonna quickly check that for you, Liger. That question that you had. So, is there a way that I can get this on stream? Give me 1 second here. Oh, did you not pick a racial feat for Garden? Let me see. Google Docs. Is there anything compromising on this screen? I don't think there is. Okay, so let me turn this on. Let me go transition. So this here is my, let me move this onto the side. But yeah, your D&D-ified character is named Orchid, since her hair is an orchid. Oh, that's so sweet. But yeah, let me see. Racial feats. So, I'll go ahead and scroll on a little bit here in case you guys want to pause the video and take a look at any of this. I need to go down to... So that's the Aileron. Oh wait, hold on. Is this... Wait, no, I need to press this list. There we go. I should also try and toggle off some of the comments. Can I press this? I am viewing. Okay. Where is it? Tabaxi. Yeah, Tabaxi have things. They have Kata Superstition and Feline Dexterity. Kata Superstition gives you the Hex spell for free, with Charisma ability modifier for it, and you have advantage on death saves. And Feline Dexterity increases your dex. You can't be knocked prone while conscious unless you choose to be, and you have resistance to fall damage. So those would be your 2 options for Tabaxi there, Liger. Well, it may be sweet, but her personality, and since she is basically made to be a feral creature in the woods, probably doesn't smell that great, while also trying to kill and eat everything nearby. Yeah, it's a nice juxtaposition though, I feel. Giving it such a sweet name, but it's so barbaric in nature. I love it when there's like juxtaposition like that in characters. It's so good. But yeah, there you go. Those are your 2 feats to pick from, Liger. You also have the Prodigy feat up at the very top, which should be... Here you go. This one here. So you can... Liger is a player in my game, if you're confused. Liger, if you want, go ahead and take a look at this document. It'll show you the 3 that you can get. Alternatively, you can like log on into the game and do a look for racial feats. It's all in there, I think. But okay, let's go ahead and turn this off. Head back to here. She's also a rogue with the Inquisitive subclass. Yeah, I was suspecting that was an Inquisitive. It sounded like an Inquisitive based on the stats and the scores. I've only played an Inquisitive once, and sadly the character didn't quite work with the group, so it had to be set aside. It was a 1T, but I had a lot of fun playing it. Okay, let me... I think we are on where we are on the OneNote page. So, right now we're trying to work out what's going on with this quest. I'm basically trying to figure out how to end it. We have up here some of the themes of the quest. Memories and cooperation. Your character at the moment is a 1T Abomination Ranger Swarmkeeper. Ooh, Ranger Swarmkeeper. That's something I need to try at some point. So one thing I want in this quest is these two themes of memories and cooperation. So memory is important and cooperation is important. Cooperation has been seen based on the Zion's insects. Zions are the aliens. Zion insects are helping the Earth soil. Cooperation between Zion and the Medusa are two examples of that. They've seen one of them but haven't quite seen the other. Memory examples: Larissa's memory deficit. Coming here to restore Larissa's memory to free her. Zion belief. Is there a way to hint towards Dalzagotl in this quest? Give them a loose follow-up lead to Dalzagotl. Your swarm is a group of twig blights. Ooh. I'm not quite familiar with the storm ranger. No, the Swarmkeeper Ranger's features. What do you like about them so far? While I figure out this quest, I am more than happy to read your thoughts. Give them a loose way to lead up to Dalzagotl. So this will have to be through memories, through prior knowledge. You can't seem to connect? Interesting. Let me take a look. Okay, try again. You can force enemies to move around the area against their will if they fail a DC 13 strength check. Oh, can you control their movement? Or is the movement random? Also, do you get access to the infestation cantrip? 15 feet in any direction you... Ooh, interesting. Gonna have to check out the Swarmkeeper at some point. I almost played them. I recently made a new character for another games I'm playing. I almost made a Swarmkeeper. You can even pull them close to you if you... Ooh, interesting. That sounds super cool. But instead I decided to make a Circle of Stars Owlin Druid. Sadly, that game is going to be on hiatus for a couple of weeks because one of the players is not present. But yeah, super looking forward to it. So the two ways that we can get this follow-up lead is through memories and through prior knowledge. So through memories we can have it be maybe one of the Zion's memory stones. Your character at the moment has 2 bonus actions they can use to attack due to shenanigans with a hag. Oh no, hags, come on. Hags are simultaneously terrifying and really fun to use. 3 memories. So we have Zion's memory stone, or maybe he's piecing together memories, right? Though I don't think anyone here has ever heard of this this creature that they're looking for. So we can have it be in the Zion's memory stone through prior knowledge. What do I mean by through prior knowledge? Of the Zion. This is basically the same thing, isn't it? Because if they have prior knowledge of... Oh, I can have this come through the manifestation. The partial manifestation. Come through the partial manifestation in the end. So you can force a target if they fail 2 strength saves 30 feet in any direction, and if you pull them closer, you can grapple them with your main action. Oh dear, being in a grapple with a Florin sounds terrifying. Do I want this partial manifestation to... would need to speak. Now the problem is, many of the Zion in my setting don't speak. Oh, that's the wanting abomination. Oh, I remember. Sorry for the confusion. Still though, don't want to get too close to a snake's mouth. I recently saw a video, or not a video, but a picture on Reddit about 2 snakes fighting each other. One of the snakes crushed the other one to death, while the other one had, like, envenomed the one that crushed it to death. So at the end of it, both the snakes died. Nobody succeeded, and they're just like all wrapped up around each other. Snakes are terrifying. So the Zion would need to speak. One of the main problems with Zion is that they can't really speak. But powerful Zion can. So I don't think that is too unheard of. But I'm trying to think about how we can present it, right? So the Zions I'm using are Starspawn. They're basically reskinned Starspawn. If I go over to here, scroll down to Zionkin, and then go to Zion Mage. I think it's in the copy, or is it in... What's the difference between these two? Ah, it's this one here. Okay. So this is basically the monsters I'm using. If you've seen this artwork before, it's basically the same thing. I've changed a few things in its stat block sheet. Well, the way that this quest is going, there's not going to be a direct confrontation with this creature. So we might need to... Let me go ahead and... Let me get rid of... Yeah, let me get rid of this copy. Your character can inject poison 2 with her fangs and 1d6 on the initial bite, but another 1d6 with injecting poison with a chance to poison the target. Ooh, interesting. Let me get rid of the Zayn Mage copy, and we're going to make another copy because this sheet is newer. Duplicate. There we go. So we want this to be the partial Zion partial manifestation. So how can we make this more of a partial manifestation? What would be the difference between this thing being fully manifested and it not being fully manifested, and only being partially manifested, right? She also has a floating animated butcher's knife as a pet. Oh no. Oh. That's amazing. One of my characters, one of my players in this game has recently obtained a familiar, and what he's doing is he's doing a paper bird. Let me see if I can bring it up here. One-shot character, no. Oh, no. Summon and followers, there we go. Paper kite. This is what it looks like. This is what one of my player characters is, one of the characters in my group. This is what their familiar looks like. And I think it's just super cool that we can go out of the box with things like this. You have successfully invaded. Oh yes, I can see your name in the bottom left. So let's get rid of that. Let's go back to partial manifestation. So it's going to be smaller. So first thing we should do is we should have this be a small creature. Small, chaotic, evil. Let's go ahead and change the alignment that's listed here. Doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see this apart from myself, and I know what this creature is like. I do feel like it's probably going to have less hit points. So half of 148, what is that? That is, we can do 148 divided by 2. 74. Now this isn't really going to be a huge, a big battle. Like with 74 hit points, my party are level 11. This thing is going to die within a round. Even, where is it? Even the Medusa died within a round, and she has 127 hit points. around maybe 2 rounds, I think she died in. So if we have a partial Zion manifestation over here, what else should we get? I feel like its memory shatter ability wouldn't be as strong. So let's go into here, and we should weaken its spell save DC. So let's go ahead and should we? I don't think so. Come to think of it, I think this creature's force of personality stays the same. No matter how many monsters or how many creatures it has. Because this thing, like, it's an entity that commands these insects, basically. It's a formless entity in its true form. And it can't, like, be hurt. Basically, it's just a consciousness. So I think Memory Shatter is fine. Does it deal any damage? It took a few rounds since you had to find it, then not get turned, and then hit it for a lot of attacks. Ah, okay, so it did take a few rounds. I mean, once you were able to see it, I think, right? Once you started dealing damage, it didn't take too long for it to go down. I think it barely got one more turn once it started taking damage. Let me see. Target must make a charisma save. So I think Memory Shatter should be fine. Let me see. Plague of Worms. Now this is going to be something that will change. So we're going to get this to be a weaker DC, because there's less of them. Let's go ahead and set the DC to 14. Flat DC, 14 dexterity check. What does it do? So it's a dex save, or take 5d8 necrotic damage, and be blinded and restrained by masses of insect swarms. Yeah, once we saw it started hitting it, got lucky, and did quite a bit of damage. Yeah, I thought so. This thing is going to be in front of you immediately, so it's not going to survive anything if they go out attacking, and you know what the orchid's like. Doesn't help that the butcher's knife somehow has eyes, and it somehow has eyes? Oh no. And he yelled at our drow casting Healing Word on him when saying the word to get back in. Wow. You have a real Gordon Ramsay after you, huh? And then he said that since the drow gain proficiency in cooking utensils and can turn into a rat oh no, via the hag, and so the DM made him remember from Ratatouille. Yeah, I saw that one coming as soon as you said rat. And proficiency with cooking utensils. That is so good. I think we definitely need... Why is it doing 5d8 twice? Hold on, if I click this button, what happens? Plague of Worms. Do that, roll damage. It does roll twice. Okay, let's get this sorted. We don't need 2 of them. Now let's go ahead and reduce this to 4d8, I think. No, let's reduce it to 3. This manifestation isn't really meant to be too threatening. Oh, let me... Oh, we're not rolling a 6. There we go. If we do this, roll that 7? That's a super low roll. I'm going to increase that back to 46. So it's a little bit weaker, but it's still threatening. And I think that reflects it being a partial manifestation. What else does it have? It has a slam attack. The thing the hag gave you is 2 extra set of arms. Oh. So she now 6 arms. 6 arms in total! And can use that extra arm to spider climb. 6 arms in total. You just need another 2 more pairs of arms before... Wait, no. You have 2 legs, right? You should be you're a snake spider. You're a spider already. You have like 8 limbs. I feel that this needs to be a bit weaker, so we can... easy way to fix this is we can decrease the CR here. Let's reduce it to like 9. Let's reduce it to 7. I want that proficiency bonus to go down to 3. Full snake with arms. Oh! That's what a Wanty abomination is. Okay. I get confused between like all the different types of Wanty. You have the Malicens, you have the abominations, you have the anathemas. I don't think there should be should there be legendary actions on this partial manifestation? I feel that there shouldn't be shouldn't be them. Let me see, and then feed on weakness. When a creature within 20 feet of the larval mage fails to save, takes 10 temporary hit points of damage. I think that can stay the same. Okay, so we have our Zion mage manifestation. So if we go ahead and we plant this partial manifestation, if we plant this down here, oh, that looks terrifying. Funny thing is, your snake isn't the weirdest thing in the party. Oh, now you've got me interested. I was interested before, but what makes the party so weird, dare I ask? Okay, so let's go ahead and hide this creature. So there's going to be a partial manifestation of this creature. So I believe what's going to happen is once they come in here, they're going to see the wall being swarmed by insects, and they are going to also notice these crystals that are behind these hidden swarms here. I think maybe we should get like 4 swarms. Yeah, if we get 4 swarms here. Let's actually put a swarm around each one of these crystals. You have a Warlock Centaur Unicorn who has a pet Furby. That's a Fey creature. So it's a Faby whose patron is basically like a parent. I don't think I expected to hear or even read the name Furby today. Oh my goodness. They are, I swear, if anything, Furbies are like, you know, demons from the abyss rather than Fey creatures from the Feywild. Also, aka Archfey Parent, there we go. Furbies are just terrifying. Not that there can't be terrifying things in the Feywild, of course, but... Okay, so we have our Zion partial manifestation over here. Let's go ahead and try and work on the scene that's going to happen. Let's transition back to here. Wow, my face really does change. Like, the lighting really does change when we're looking at... I wonder if there's a dark mode for this. Do you guys know if there's a dark mode for Microsoft OneNote? Is it in view? Oh, we can just change the page color. Has anything, like, actually changed on the stream? Oh, I guess it has. I'm gonna undo that. Not dark enough. I think the weirdest thing we've ever had in our party, and Liger can correct me if I'm wrong, we once had... oops, let me go back to here. Thing you've noted is she hasn't casted a single offensive spell, only Fairy Fire and Spider Climb. Let me see if I can find the weirdest character that has ever been in the party. We've had this... not that one. We've had this creature in the party. And this is a manifestation of, like, an area in my world. It's basically like an elemental. The player who made this basically used a Genasi, gave it the Fey Lost background, and went with it. But this is Pelagio, sorry. This was born out of me mispronouncing archipelago. So there's an archipelago down here. Yeah, Luke's character. Definitely one of the weirdest characters I've ever had. Lucas comes up with like extremely weird characters. Not as weird. So, Liger has made a character called a Torque. That is the race, and it's a half Tabaxi, half Orc. That's probably going to be the weirdest when we play that campaign. But in the meantime, I think Archipelagio here takes the cake. So, we roleplayed Archipelagio as a elemental manifestation of the guardian spirit of the archipelago here. And that's one of the weirdest creatures I've ever had to play with. Not one of the weirdest player characters I've had to deal with. Talk best race, can never argue. Well, you know. When the next edition of D&D comes around, you can make all the talks you want by using the half race option. Where am I going? I need to go back to the memory cave. Okay, let's go back to our screen over here. Come through the partial manifestation in the end. How can it come through? We can have memories just flood them, perhaps. Although, do we want this encounter to be wordless? Oh no, you're going to make a half Loxodon, half GIF character? Yep, that's going to be weird. That's going to be weird, alright. I think the GIF are already super weird, honestly. Final encounter. Partial Zion manifestation. How's this going to happen? Insects on walls will react to the party's presence if interacted with in a hostile manner. They will merge together and form the partial manifestation. Is it going to speak to them at all? I feel like if we just have that happen, then the party will just attack it. And you shall call it a Gox. GIF Loxodon, a Gox. Kind of reminds me of the Grox from Spore, actually. If any of you aren't familiar, Spore is basically like a evolution simulator. You start off as a cell, you go to space stage. When you get to space stage and you get to the center of the galaxy, it is filled with this like half android hybrid race called the Grox. And they are basically the big bad of the game. They're super cute looking too. It's a shame that they're so homicidal. If interacted with in a hostile manner, they'll merge together and form the partial manifestation. I feel like I want something here. I want there to be like some sort of... I feel like if the party get here at this point, they're going to be missing something. Partial Zion manifestation. Insect on walls will react to party's presence. What are they doing? They are feeding off of the memory crystals. Ooh, maybe we could have Larissa's memory stones. So Larissa's memory stones will be in this back cave here. Contains some information about Dal's Eggottle's location. You'll say that the last character you've created so far, even though you may never get a chance to play them, is an Air Genasi monk who spends years at the bottom of a deep lake to think clearly and ended up befriending a Chwinga, and she now carries around a rock that the Chwinga lives in. A Chwinga? What is a Chwinga? That it sounds like something small and something really cute. There you go, dials are got to location. Look them up in Google, they are cute looking. Okay, let's go ahead and do a Google search. Chwinga. 5e. Is that them? Hold on. Let me open image in new tab. And then let's go to window capture, I think. Which one is it? There we go. Is this them? Is this a Chwinga? We saw one in Tomb of Annihilation. Did we? I don't feel like I've ever seen one of these things before in my life. Okay. And they live in rocks or under rocks? At Firefinger? They're at Firefinger? I don't... We've been playing Tomb of Annihilation for a really long time. I don't remember seeing Tomb... Oh wait! No, I remember. They were around a campfire, weren't they? It has been a really long time since we were at Firefinger in our Tomb of Annihilation game. Huh. Cool creatures. Okay. Definitely going to be keeping an eye out for any more of them, though I don't think we're going to find any since we're already in the final dungeon. Well, what I presume to be the final dungeon. Give you a second? Alright, take all the time you need, Hungry Kobold, as long as you don't eat me. Oh. Natural shelter. The Chwinga magically takes shelter inside a rock. A living plant or a natural source of flesh water. Let me go over to this page so the text is a bit easier to read. Or a natural source of fresh water in its space, the Chwinga can't be targeted by any attack, spell, or other effect while inside the shelter, and the shelter doesn't impair the Chwinga's blind sight. The Chwinga can use its action to emerge from a shelter. If a shelter is destroyed, the Chwinga is forced out and appears in the shelter space, but is otherwise unharmed. Interesting. So, they... Hold on, I'm trying to think of something. They take shelter inside a rock, a living plant, or a natural source, a rock. Does... Wait a second. Liger. Do you know something about what's going on with my character in TOA that you don't? That I don't, sorry. They basically meld with the object and vibe in there. Yeah, no, this is sounding suspiciously like something that's happened to my character. I'm gonna wait for Liger's response if he has one. I feel like I might be in the dark about this and might be coming upon a dawning realization. So, for a bit of context, my character's a turtle. He found this, this strange, like, disc that had, like, markings on it. And since then, he's had, he's been getting randomly blessed. What about them? Hold on. Where's the Chwinga's stat block? Did Chwingas bless people? I think I might be able to look in, 1 second. Can I check here? Chwinga. No, it's not there. What about them? So I feel like... You remember how the GM is like, hey, like, there's this thing inside your shell. And it, like, you know, you feel like this presence inside your shell. You feel like that... No, not the disc with eyes. That's like, the thing that we found outside. Chwinga can give gifts and stuff to people within 5 feet of them. Oh no, I did get I got a charm! I remember getting a charm of heroism. Okay. I think there's a Chwinga living under the shell of my turtle character. That's super cool. Okay. The DM... So, I often cast guidance as my total character to help me with stuff, and sometimes the DM is like, you know what, don't cast guidance this time. You have the bonus anyway, and doesn't tell me what's going on. And then one time when my character was in a difficult position, gained a yeah, I got a supernatural charm. In the skull room, you got one recently? No, I meant like, so before we entered the final tomb, we found like an overturned cart nearby, and then underneath that cart there was like this disc that had like stuff about like this Queen Napala or whatever. The Twinker cast one of the following spells requiring no material or verbal components. Druid cast guidance. There we go. Okay. So it seemed like, yeah. Pass without trace resistance. Oh, that's super cool. Pass without a trace. That can be very nice. But yeah, then my character just took it with him because he's like, oh, this has like information about like this long dead queen. So, you know, since he's all about the spirit stuff, yeah, I got a friend, it seems. I'm gonna turn on my bedroom lights here. First thing, it's getting a bit dark. Did you know about the Schwinger Companion before, or did you just figure it out now as well? I think some people at the table know what it is. Oh, that's super cool. Oh. Alright, well, let's carry on and continue working on what we can here. So, what we've got is maybe Larissa's memory stones know a little bit about where this alien is that they're looking for, right? That this Zine is looking for. You never fully thought about it since you got it when you don't have... Oh yeah, that's right. There's one thing said with the Chwinga though, that breaks your heart when you read it on the stat block. Oh, I don't think I want to know what this is. I don't think I want to know what this is. Oh, okay, let's see. Does it require food, air, or drink? When it dies, it... Aww! Or a stone statuette. Oh, that's adorable. It looks like they're made to be so likable. Such likable creatures. Aww. Well, just have to prevent it from dying, honestly. My character is aware that there's like probably something like who is seeking shelter with him. Oh my god. Also just using the him pronoun there just made me remember what else happened. So this might be a slight spoiler for TOA, Tomb of Annihilation. We've been thinking about spoilers for TOA for a bit, I think. They have no alignment too. Ooh, interesting. But at one point, my character decides to drink some suspicious-looking water in a dungeon. They aren't hostile creatures, really? Yeah. But yeah. So I play an elderly male turtle spirit bard, whose whole shtick is he wants to call upon or bring back and speak the memories of those who have long since departed, so that their memories can see the light of day once more, as he's pretty much the only person who can tell these stories now, since, you know, everyone's like all died and passed on and they have no one else who remembers them. They aren't really anything, not evil, not good, they're pretty much pure neutral. Ooh, cool. But my character decided it would be a good idea to take a sip of water from a fountain within a dungeon, and it turned, it changed his biological gender around. Turned his biological sex around. So now he is biologically a female. And I had to like Google like what's the difference between like a male and female turtle. And like from what I heard, like the difference is basically they just have less wrinkled on their shells. And their stomachs are a bit smoother. So I feel like that would have been great on someone who's a bit more humanoid. Who would have got a lot more, what's the word? Visual drama watching someone change so radically. But for a turtle, like the only thing is like it seemed like his shell got smoothed out a bit. And you know, the voice got a bit more higher pitched. Anyway. Larissa's memory stone contains some information about Darzagott's location. How does this make sense? Larissa is with the Galiblian military, and Galiblians are a country who gets commands from higher ups. She may have heard or seen something. Twinger can give you a lot of nice charms. Yeah, I believe the Twinger gave me a charm of heroism at some point. Tail shrunk as well. Yeah, tail shrunk as well. She may have heard or seen something about something that interests the Zayan. If this is the case, have the insects focusing on that one memory crystal. It would have to be vague. You don't want to spoil the things they can give you, but at the same time, you want to tell me because you find this pretty cool. So I know they give charms. I know they can bless you or guide you or whatever. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, you can put it in. I'll probably read it if you put it in, because your DM probably want to do something about it. I'll leave it up to you. I don't mind either way. I am typically very good at not letting my personal knowledge impact my game as a player. I've been a DM for a long time, and I'm a player in like 2 other games, so if you really want to talk about it, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you, and I'm not going to think any less or more of you about it. You'll say it involves 3D. Is that... wait, inflict wounds? Can it inflict wounds? Garden is forever immune to me knocking him prone. Oh, nice! You picked you picked your racial feature. Fantastic. It's not inflict wounds. Ah, oh, okay. So let me think. Right now we have, going along this vague notion of there's something that interests the Zayan inside a specific memory crystal, so it's focusing its efforts on this memory crystal. And then I'll get the party concerned, like, what's up with a specific memory crystal. And then I can, like, hint at the location. What is your class for the turtle? My turtle is a spirit bard. This isn't the precise sheet, but I have a former sheet that I made in here. Here we go. College of Spirits. Yeah, good thing we talked about that, otherwise Garden would be underpowered compared to everyone else. Bard, do you stay at a distance or up close? I tend not to be, like, too close, though as a turtle with 17 AC, it's not too bad. The only problem is my health is super low. I have a -1 to my constitution, so I have, like, what, 31 health. I think we've leveled up since, so it's probably more like 37 or something. But yeah, this character is mostly focused on buffing the party and using tarot cards and skulls and bones to give, where is it? To give Tales from the Beyond to. And Tales from the Beyond is basically roll a bardic inspiration die, and whatever your result is, consult this table, whatever result that is, you get a feature, and then you can give that ability to someone else. Hope your DM doesn't want to do this, cause... Oh, okay. It's not stone skin. I can't imagine it's stone skin. I'm trying to guess now. But yeah, most of the time, my turtle character, whose name is Oracle, he typically stays away from combat. He's an old man. Or should I say right now, he's an old woman. Not window capture. I want to turn that one off and transition back to here. You can change your weapon into the Dragon Slayer or Giant Slayer weapons. Ooh, interesting. Might be facing a dragon or a giant at some point inside this this dungeon that we're in then. So far it's mostly just been undead. And traps, lots of traps, lots of traps. Okay, so what would the specific memory be? I think we have some memories written down here. Uncle Papa, Ered Ben I, Gravas, Larissa, here we go. Could face an undead ogre. Absolutely could face an undead ogre. Would it be giant or would it be undead? Are undead giants undead and giant? Maybe even a titan? Ooh, that would be cool. I think we've sussed out though that this dungeon is more centered around the traps, so we're less likely to find, you know, monsters. Or have like major encounters with monsters. Most of them are like encounters with traps and riddles and puzzles. Let me see. Oh, we've got some stuff here. Party fights against Zion Mage. Memory crystals become alive and turn into crystal monsters. Larissa's memory will transform into a crystal Pegasus. Party comes across what Zion is trying to do, assemble a bunch of crystal golems. All are incomplete. Okay, this was a previous version of what I wanted the Zion to do. Sword itself, Sword restores itself in unity with the memory. Party claims memory crystal from Zion. Returns the memory to Larissa. Okay, so this is part of what I wanted the plot flow to be like. There's also the fact a separate party is further ahead of us. That is true. Scroll back up to... Yeah, let's see what we have here again. Okay, no, this needs to go... Where? Up here. So direct memory cave, fight against the Zion Mage partial apparition. You may also come across a group of enemies and you may get overwhelmed, and the trigger may give you a charm of conjure animals you can use 3 times. Ooh, that'd be cool. It would be better than the undead that we've all been trying to raise, who don't listen to us most of the time if we're not looking at them. Party fight against the Zion Mage partial apparition. Find specific memory crystal it is interested in. Larissa's memory. How would we do this? So I'm thinking maybe this memory has to, like, shows a map, and on that map there is signs of a meteor that landed where Dalzagotl was, about in the time frame that it did. How long ago did Dalzagotl land? Dalzagotl. Lords. Spelled that wrong apparently. Forestation. Nope. Tringor is such fantastic ally for the DM to have in the party. Since if an encounter goes pear-shaped, you can have it give a charm to help. Yeah, that does sound good. Let me see. Oh, where is it? Okay, so this is it's in the history of Trishkar, which is the country where Dalzagotl landed. Okay, so Dalzagotl seemed to have landed before the second lunar cry and the Elven massacre happened. So let me go to the timeline list here. Let me see. Elven massacre, second lunar cry. Cult of Dalzagotl, 910 years ago is when Dalzagotl landed. So that'd be what? The current year is 1202, so 910 years before 1202. So this Dalzagotl has been around for a long time, and this Zion, this alien that we're looking at right now, has been around like months, basically. So Dalzagotl has been here for a long time. So how can I foreshadow that? If Dalzagotl has been around for like 900 years, it's probably already established itself. So we could have perhaps a memory that shows some of the or a follower of Dalzagotl in Larissa's memory. Shows a follower of Dalzagotl. So the pass without trace, though, can come in handy if you are all thinking of going stealth. Yeah. Show the follower of Dalzagotl directly. Let's hope the Twinger hears you on the sneak, though. Yeah. Imagine being so good at stealth that the Twinger doesn't notice that you guys are stealthing. Although, if it's like living inside of the turtle shell, it can still see out of it, right? So technically, doesn't it like... wouldn't it be able to see out of like the back of my creature? My character? Shows a follower of Dalzagotl directly. Or a symbol featuring Dalzagotls. Or a message featuring Dalzagotl's symbol. It can't see past 60 feet, so it's pretty limited. Okay, good to know. So it shows a follower of Dalzagotl directly. So these are the options that we're talking about for how we can pull everything together. So as a quick recap, we have the party are trying to restore the memories of this character called Larissa Velveris, because they need to return Larissa to her mount, who is a Pegasus who basically set the party on this adventure. She's being held captive because she has vital information that the country that she's captive of wants, but her memory's been shattered. And what shattered her memory is this alien who's collecting memories to try and find out where its master is. And I need to tell the party, find some way to tell the party that this alien, this Zion, is trying to figure out where its master is without being like too direct about it. I need to hint about it. And what the current idea I have is one of the pieces of memory that this alien took from Larissa shows something about where the master is, whether that be a location, a map or something, or, you know, a Dalzagotl's symbol, Dalzagotl being the alien's master, on like a missive or something like that, or even like Larissa being in the same room as a cult member of Dalzagotl. So Dalzagotl has been around for 900 years. It landed in a different country to where Larissa has been before, and in a different country to where she's being kept right now. So it had to show something to do with Dalzagotl's had to show something about Dalzagotl's presence, basically. It has to hint towards it. And whatever it has to hint to, it has to link toward Shrishkar, or the Dragon Ministry. And the Dragon Ministry is basically the school where Dalzagotl has taken up positioning in. So what could we have? We could have a dragon. Got a ghost in Chitaid and it's 5:13 a.m. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you've had a wonderful time here. Thank you for telling us all about your characters and all about your Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follow, Hungry Kobold. I hope you are less inclined towards human meat the next time we meet. Have a good rest, man. Oh, Streamlabs even thanks you guys. Oh, that's super cool. I didn't know Streamlabs did that. I'm not sure how clear it is, but we do have a follower goal. If we get to 50 followers, 50 followers is our current goal. I believe we're currently at 27. I can't quite see the goal myself. Yeah, my preview is a bit too small. Let me see. What is our current follower goal? Current follower goal is 26 out of 50. So if any of you are watching and you guys want to keep up with how we are doing, please feel free to hit that follow button. It's super encouraging and it is always good. If we manage to get to 50, that brings us closer to unlocking more stuff for the channel, which is always going to be super good. So if you guys like D&D planning and want to, you know, be part of the inspiration generation that we're creating here, feel free to hit that button. Feel free to pop by whenever we're streaming. And yeah, could have a Dragon Ministry member talking with Larissa's higher ups with a what? I don't believe these followers of Dalzagotl will be going around with a symbol of Dalzagotl on them. Absolutely, as like I said, like, feel free to give creative ideas as well. I'm doing my best to give creative ideas to any one of you as well. Yeah, and I love hearing about your characters and whatever plots and stories you guys have as well. So if you have anything you'd like to share, please feel free and put it in the chat. It is always so exciting. I don't believe these guys would have a symbol on them. Though maybe this person has been marked in some other way. Maybe he has a disfigurement. A disfigurement. You know what this is sounding like? Are you all familiar with what a Cibriax is? Let's go ahead and bring back Foundry. And let me see if I have a Cibriax. It doesn't show up there, so we're going to have to go into Plutonium here. Let's go into Plutonium. I think we need to go into tables, actually. Tables. 5e tools, here we go. Not the faintest idea. So a Cibriax is an elder demonic entity. Saltmarsh, Strixhaven. No, it doesn't seem like it's in here. Where is it from? I believe it is from... Oh man, where is Cibriax's from? Where are their stat blocks from? I think it's Xanathar's? Are there monsters in Xanathar's? 1 second, I'm gonna check through some of my books here. Is it Out of the Abyss? It's not Out of the Abyss. No, it's Volo's Guide to Monsters. I remember now. It's Volo's Guide to Monsters. So do we have Volo's? VGM. So let's go ahead and filter by VGM. Might be easier to do this through here. So Volo's Guide to Monsters. Let me clear all and then just put Volo's Guide on. Let me see. So we're trying to generate some physical variations. No, we're trying to figure out some mutations that we can get, and it made me think of Cebriexes. Disfigurement? No. How is it spelled? A Cebrix is S-I-B-R-I-X. S-I-B-I-R... I don't know. S-I-B-R-I-E-X. Is it maybe not in rollable tables? It might be in other options and features. Maybe in supernatural gifts and rewards. No, not in here. But basically what they do, they have a disfigurement table. And I want to try and find that. It's not in tables. Might be in here. Monsters of the Multiverse? Okay, I'm gonna have to check this up. Give me 1 moment. This is gonna be off screen. Mutation? No. Hold on a second. Oh man, my screen is it's really difficult to see things on a white page on my second screen. Is that... Is it... Did I spell it right when I told you how it's spelled? Cebrix. Strange. It's probably going to have to be in Monsters of the Multiverse. Oh, it's in Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, not Volo's Guide to Monsters. Okay. I knew it was there somewhere. Let me see. Ah, flesh warping. Okay, that's the table that I'm looking for. So if I go over to here, and it should be in tables. Open importer. What is it? It's Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. There we go. Okay, it doesn't show up. That's fine. Let's just go ahead and search out the Cebrix. It might be in the Cebrix stat block in here. Give it a brief second to load up. Cebrix. Oh, it has yeah, here it is. Okay. Cool. Oops. Let me go ahead and import this. Should appear down here at the bottom somewhere. Cibrix, here we go. So we have a Cibrix here. Oh, it doesn't show the, Oh, here it is. Okay. So if I go into here, edit this. What options do we have here? Can I just, like, copy the entire table? Oh, no, that doesn't work. I just basically want to grab this table and copy it and make a rollable table out of it. There we go, copy. And can I just, like, place this into a table? Pretty sure this is probably not how it works. Flesh warping. No, definitely not how it works, huh? Okay, that's fine. What instead I can do is I can just press this flesh warping button. And it'll bring it up for me here. So, what are some warping... I know my camera is covering it, but don't worry. What are some of the warping abilities that we might get from a Cibrix? And we're using this to try and figure out exactly what warping stuff we might have our Dalzagotl here do. There we go. Maybe a disfigurement from the Cibrix's flesh warping. And whatever this is going to be a signature. Okay, so let's head back to Foundry. So, I'm just going to squint my eyes here and try and read what I can. So, one of the options is the color of the target's hair, eyes, and skin becomes blue, red, yellow, or patterned. Target, let's go ahead and just roll a couple. So that's number 81. What is 81? Target's head triples in size. I don't think that's going to be quite appropriate. Let's roll again. What is this one? 9. What is number 9? Target's eyes push out of its heads at the end of stalks. That is freaky as heck. 64. Target grows a long thin tail which it can use as a whip. 12. What is 12? Target hands grow claws which can be used as daggers. Interesting. Then we have 70. Target's entire eyes turn black and it gains dark vision out to a range of 120 feet. I like that. Instead of turning black, it could turn into starfields. Yeah, Cibrixes are mad. You spend 1 hour within, like, 30 feet of it, it warps you. Let me see. Creatures that encounter a Cibrix can be twisted beyond recognition. When a creature fails a saving throw against Cibrix's warp creature effect, you can roll a percentile die and consult the flesh warping table to determine an additional effect. If we go back to here, let's open up this thing again. Where did it go? Cibrix. So it has a warp creature action ability, where it targets up to 3 creatures, so it targets 3 creatures, within 120 feet of it, which is a pretty huge range. That's like a, what, 240 foot diameter radius. Each creature must make a DC 20 con save, which is a huge con save. If they succeed, they're immune, but if they fail, they are poisoned, which also gives a level of exhaustion. And while poisoned, they must repeat the save at the end of each turn. After 3 successful saves, it ends if they fail, 3 times. Each fail save causes target to gain another level of exhaustion. Every time you fail, you gain another point of exhaustion. If you get 6 levels of exhaustion, so if you fail the save 6 times before you succeed at 3 times, you die and you transform into another creature. But hold on, this flesh warping. Whenever you fail a save, you can have it flesh warp you. I see. So if you fail a save, you gain exhaustion, you're still poisoned, and you also have one of these malicious effects affect you. And how do you cure it? At the end of the process, roll on the table to determine how the creature transformed. I guess it makes sense it's a CR 18 creature. Yeah, it is. Seabriexes are basically demons that inhabit like the very far, most remote regions of the abyss. They are basically like, you know, elder brains. Though they don't have any of the associated stuff with an elder brain. They're just basically like really smart creatures, who gather like lore from the multiverse. They're basically just like big sacks of flesh. If you've ever played like Demon Souls and ever been to the Tower of Latria, the thing at the very top of the Tower of Latria is basically what a Seabriex is, except it's sentient. Anyway, whatever it is going to be a signature of Delzagoth Cult. So one of the options we have is pure black eyes. Perhaps with the starfield in them, but we have one of the options is pure black eyes, and we got this from rolling on the flesh warping feature. What is 31? Target's ears free from its head and scurry away. That could be another thing. They have no ears. So let's go back to our thing here. They have no ears. The ears are, what would the ears be? They'd be familiars. The ears would be familiars that follow the person. Let me see, what does it say over here? What was that, 31? Oh, it just said that they sprout from the target's back. Wait, no. Target ears free from its head and scurry away. The target is deafened. I'm not sure about deafened. You still have holes in your ears, right? Unless it literally flies away with the hole as well. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to say that these guys have no ears, or they have black eyes, right? What else do we have? 90. What is 90? Target ears become wings, giving them flying speed of 5 feet. We're getting a lot of ear-related stuff. 68 is target's entire eyes turn. We re-rolled that one already. Two of the target's teeth turn into short tusks. Target's skin develops bark-like scales, granting +1 bonus to AC, but reducing its charisma score by 2. Target's arms and legs switch places. Ugh. Arms and legs switch places. No. Target's arms becomes tentacles with fingers on the ends, increasing its reach by 5 feet. I mean, I think we've got a winner there. Arms and tentacles with fingers on the end. So instead of having to pick between one of these three, any of these three can be assigned, right? So a cult member might have pure black eyes, or they might have no ears and the ears follow them, or they might have arm tentacles with fingers on the end. I like that. So in that case, this person would have to have had one of these features, right? So let's just go and pick one. I think I like the idea of having no ears. So there we go. The person in Larissa's memory had no ears, only holes on the side of their head. There we go. Okay. That seems good. Yeah, no ears to stick with the mind-talking stuff. Yeah. You don't need to hear in order to understand with the telepathy. I think I like that thing. So, a person in Larissa's memory has no ears, only holes on the side of their head. I feel like I need to generate who this character is. So I'm going to go ahead and do NPC generator. Oh. Where is that other page? Here it is. Okay. Let me go ahead and bring you guys over to here. This is the generator that we used last time. I'm going to go ahead and zoom on in quite a bit. Sadly, it seems, oh, if I, there we go, that's better. Okay, so, who do you want this to be? Instead of doing this, let's go back to Foundry, and let's generate a race. So I have a table, and I've made this table a really long time ago. It's called the Elosic Reincarnation Table. And I'm not sure if you guys can see the results here. But basically I've weighted each of the races on here. So if you're familiar with the reincarnation spell, basically if you die, you cast reincarnation and you come back as a random race. I've made a D100 chart here that is balanced based around how I think races are diverse. So the most common races have more chance of being rolled, whereas the less common races have less chance of being rolled. So let's go ahead and use this. Let's go ahead and roll. And what do we get? Okay, we get the, you guys can't see that in chat, but we get the Alron. So this is going to be an Alron. So let's head back to this one here. So this is an Alron Dragon Ministry. Yay, plant people! Yeah. Let's just hope that this one doesn't turn out to be a grappling barbarian like a Hungry Kobold one, huh? I'm not sure I'd be prepared to handle something like that. I think that's just a bit too much aggression. Okay, so my Alron have a few sub-races to them. I believe they have the Lotus, they have Lotus, they have Rose, they have Rafflesia, and they have Orchid. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll a d4 quickly. 4. So that'd be, what, Orchid at the end? Actually, hold on. If I go here and go to the Alron route map, we can actually see what Alron vines are around here. So if we look here, this is a very rudimentary map. So in Shrishkar, around near where the Dragon Ministry is, there are 2 root vines. One of them is the red one of them is the blue one. And the key down here says that the red one are the rose, and the blue one are the orchids. And I don't think we have had a moment about the orchids. Wait, have we? I can't remember. I can't... One second, let me look for orchid. Alron. Which one are the orchids? They are... they're sensitive... Oh, hold on. Sensitive to environment. When stressed, they can bloom in an attempt to calm down the surroundings. Refined beauty. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so let's head back to Foundry. And I want to see what the orchid ones get. So lunar blooming. So the orchid Alrons, when they use their lunar blooming feature, They basically emit like a very sweet scent. You don't remember orchids? Yeah, I think the ones I'm thinking about that you have encountered are the lotus, Alron. You've also met the Rafflesia in Nerak Nera. The main Alron nursery that you guys had found before, that you spent a lot of time in, was a Rafflesia nursery. But you guys have met Lotus Alron during the time when you were in the Star Forest, the Roofless Forest, and you were fighting all of those treants, and there were those corrupted Alron that were fighting you. Those were Lotus Alron. Lotus Alron are unique because they are able to walk on water. Also, I kind of need to go back and rebalance that race, because I really don't think that race holds up anymore. That race variant. I need to go through and double check the Alron all in general, because I even feel like the Orchid Alrons are a bit weak. But what the Orchids do is they can use that action to bloom, which basically puts them into a blooming state for like a little while. And each of the Alron races have a unique effect when they bloom. So the Orchids here, you spent your life with the rose ones. You did, yes. Let me double check actually. Usually they are rose Alron, but let me double check here. Oh no, actually, let's go to Foundry here. Let's close Foundry here. You are this grey line here, and this grey line are the Lotus Alron. So you spent a lot of time around Lotus, which is hilarious because one of the party members is called Black Lotus. So yeah, you would be mostly familiar with Lotus Alron. So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Liger's character Garden was kind of like abandoned as a child. So he's a Tabaxi, but he was kind of abandoned as a child and kind of not recruited, but picked up and saved by a Lotus Alron mentor, who basically raised Lotus up, told him all about basically helped develop his values and everything, and then he eventually left for Cinderia to go and help some other Alron. And the Alron in Cinderia are the Rose Alron. Let me double check. Yeah, there are Rose Alron. There are more Lotus Alron towards the north, but you guys are in the south of Cinderia. So yeah, there we go. There is that. Let's head on back. Where are we heading on back to? No, I don't think we're heading back there. We need to go back to quick list and development. So you are a Lotus Alron Dragon Ministry member. Cult of Dol Zagotl. There we go. Wasn't abandoned, intentionally left for dead since his parents were killed in front of him. Ah, thank you for reminding me. It's still a new character. I have it written down in this document here. But thank you for the correction. I brought the document thing up, by the way, just to let you know that, I'm not going on based on my faulty knowledge. I do check the logs, if you will. That's Alron Dragon Ministry cult member, Cult of Dol Zagotl. No years. Let me go ahead and take a look at the the description for the race here. So, Lotus. Calm and dignified, never raise their voices. Oh no, that's temperament. Where is their physicality? Garden hasn't been given a reason to reveal his past, so nobody really knows. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I need to know. So I need to make sure that what I get is as correct as it can be. Root trees, finding and source, La Salvos. Lotus Alron. Calm and dignified. Let me... Lotus flower. Oh, yeah, of course. Okay. They would definitely have ears. Normally. So it would make total sense that these people don't have ears. If you guys are having a bit of difficulty envisioning what these Auron look like, whenever I think of them, I normally think about the Sylvari from Guild Wars 2, if you're familiar with them. Let me see if I can pull up a reference image of a Sylvari. Sylvari. Let me get something that doesn't make them look like they're literally wearing nothing at all. Oops. Open image in new tab. Okay. So this is what I somewhat imagine when I think of Alron. So you can see, like, these ones have, like, plant-like clothing to them, right? You can definitely see they have, like, plant-like elements to them, but they're also very human. So that's what I kind of envision, and each one of the sub-races have unique differences as well. So, for instance, the Flytrap Alron, the Venus Alron, they have sort of like a collar that has these, like the spiky maws of the Alron, or of the Flytrap on them. And yeah, I do keep the description a bit vague, simply so that I can allow the players to be as creative as they want with it. Typically things like the Lotus Auron will be lighter in color, representing more sort of like a whitish color and sort of like more light pink and all of that. You see a lot of them since a friend you play with is a Sylvari. Oh, cool. Yeah. Sylvari is such a good way of doing plant creatures as well. Oh. What did I just do? I think I moved around some things in my overlay here. Okay, no, nothing changed. Alright, let me turn this off. And we can get back to doing our planning. So we have a no-eared Lotus Alron. What else? Wearing Dragon Ministry robes. So what would the Dragon Ministry be doing where Larissa Valveris is? So the Dragon Ministry is basically where they train right and left hand members of the dragon, basically. So the right hand of the dragon is sort of like the military. They're sort of like the forceful like enforcement of the dragon's will. The dragon being the ruler of Trishgard, not literally a dragon, we don't think. The left hand is more like the spies. This is inspired from Dragon Age, like the right and left arm of the divine. I thought that was such a cool idea, so I appropriated it. Wearing Dragon Ministry robes. Would they still be wearing Dragon Ministry robes? I feel like they wouldn't. They would only wear Dragon Ministry robes if they were still in the Dragon Ministry, so they would need to wear something else. So they would either need to be part of... since it's military dealing, we should have it be part of the right hand of the military. Right hand of the dragon member. So the Zayn would have seen this in Larissa's memory and swarm the crystal with it to try and pry any more information that it can. People from Trishgard and Spies definitely trying to blend in. Yeah. So let me see. now I kind of need to figure out what the contents of this thing was. So we know that there is a member of the right hand of the dragon in Trishka speaking with Larissa or Larissa's upper. So this is going to be right hand... Oh, sorry, I didn't transition. I didn't press the transition button. There we go. Oops. Okay. Right hand of the... Right hand speaking with Larissa's superior. Oh, let's put commander. Larissa's commander. What would they be speaking about? I've recently been developing the naval side of things here. I have... Okay. Much naval warfare has been based around mobility and blockades. Countermeasures have been developed to break barricades and chase vessels. Mercantile ships are capable of traversing deep ocean. Oceanic warfare is limited, no grand scale. Naval combat vessels are suited for deep sea skirmish at this point. No, Sindarian technology. Oh no, I crossed that out. Gallipoli have recently been developing the Storm Chaser, a naval vessel which threatens Sindarian naval might. Regarding the Storm Chaser, Gallipoli's latest, what is it? Warfaring vessel. Is that a good time to use warfaring vessel? Naval warfare vessel, which threatens Sindarian naval supremacy. There we go. Why would Trishka be interested in this? Driving water vehicles, sign garden up. Yeah, there we go. If we go back to the regions, we can see political borders. We can see that Trishka over here. Let me make this a bit bigger for you guys. So Trishka is this red area. Actually, let's do it on Foundry. Foundry is a lot better to use. Amarantian map. So here we go. Trishka over here. They're like landlocked basically. They border the Gethembasia, but the Gethembasia is basically a no man's land because it is super important for lunar magics. If they set sail through the Gethembasia, it's going to literally like drain lunar magics from the region, and that is like they rely on lunar magic for a lot of stuff. So that's basically like a tacit agreement not to traverse the Gethembasia, so that it doesn't diminish the supply of lunar magics. And the Gethembasia is a source of lunar magic. So Trishka over here, they are not a naval superpower at all. Trishka at one point occupied, like, it had like all the territory of Highhold over here, the yellow country up to the north. So at one point their territory reached all the way over to this river here, which I believe I have named, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. Sindaria at some point were like a bunch of tieflings who formed under the banner of this prophet called Dante, and they left Trishka basically to find their own holy land. And then they went through Anti, and then they got to the Corazon Reservoir, which is this thing over here. And then they started settling from there, and they eventually founded Sindaria. They were part of, I believe they were part of Trishka. Eventually Trishka gave them independence. So at one point Trishka occupied like all of this like northern territory. The only two parts that weren't Trishkarian were Elvenor and Gallipoli. And nobody really inhabits this area over here. This is dead land. Nobody really lives there. But Trishka has no naval ability, right? So it makes sense that they would be interested in aligning themselves with Sindaria or Gallipoli to like make use of their naval abilities, right? So I feel like that's why they would be interested in Gallipoli creating this like naval superior weapon, the Storm Chaser. So if they're able to like contest the Sindarian might or Sindarian naval might, then they would easily like be invested in that, right? Trishka is in a weird position. I always imagine Trishka as being allied to both Cinderia and Gallibly. They typically have decent relationships between the two. Trishka wants Gallibly to help him out to help against Elvenor, and Trishka and Cinderia have what's the word? They have historical roots, basically. Plus, Trishka likes Cinderia helping them out because they both want to take over the dwarves who feel like they stole their land. Maybe they have some reason for wanting to take control over the whole land again. I mean, Trishka are expansionist. They very much are expansionist. They're trying to, you know, combat the elves to the south. And they've taken, like, literally all this land, like, to the south of this river here, which is the River Lena. So they've taken things like Menlindor, Kyrentheline, and Phainolin, and more. And they've also taken this area over here, Mientacum, to the north as well from Highhold, and Highhold have basically fought back and taken over this place here, which is the Dwarven occupation zone. So they definitely want to try and expand. They don't really see Cinderia as too much of a threat, and they also don't see Gallibly as too much of a threat, though with recent political happenings that the party have been involved in, like replacing the leader of Gallibly with someone else who is less Trishkarian inclined. Trishkar. What does Trishkar want to do? Do they want to maintain the status quo between Gallibly and Cinderia? I think that would be the case. Because right now they're benefiting from both parties, right? If one side gets the advantage over the other, it's going to be a lot harder to control them. So that would be what the meeting is for. So let's head back over to our... head back over to here. Go back to Quest Quick List and Development. So what do they want to do? They want to oversee the production, and they want to know everything they can about... They want to know everything about the Storm Chasers, so they can ensure they want to, let's not be generic like this. This is what they want, but this is not what the specific commander wants, right? The commander... So what type of mission would the commander have been on? The commander can be seen asking for an inspection of the Storm Chaser. Now, of course, I think Gallibly would be silly to, you know, agree to this. While Gallibly and Cinderia and Trishka have got good relations. This is like their super weapon right now. Not necessarily super weapon, but it's like the trump card they need to overpower Cinderia on the waves. So the commander can be seen asking for an inspection of the Storm Chaser. To file a report to hand back to the dragon. There we go. Yeah, let's make it the dragon specifically. Although this does sound a bit more like something the left hand would do. The left hand's more information gathering. But I think in this case it can be both. Like, this guy is going to be a high-ranking member of the right hand. So let's go ahead and okay, I was going to say let's get a name generated, but I think the scientific name for a lotus works. Lotus Owl Dragon Ministry Dragon Ministry member. Let's put Dragon Ministry graduate. Right hand of the Dragon member. Let's see. Nalumbo Nusi. Sure. Their name is Nulembo Lucy. Lucy. Lucy? Nucifera. Nalumbo? No, I think I like Nucifera better. Nucifera. Okay. Nucifera. Cool. So we have the contents of the, we know basically the plot of this memory crystal that the Zion is most interested in, right? Do we want to write dialogue for this? Let's at least, like, write... So let's put in quotation marks. What's going to be inside this, this thing? So we know what's in there, so we need to try and, like, plot it together. So Larissa has been called to a meeting with her superior. Let's say that it is not Consuela Pendragon. Consuela Pendragon is someone else. Let's go ahead and get, where's Pendragon from? Pendragon. Pendragon name. It is Arthurian legend. Arthurian names. Let's see if we can get a Andred. I like Andred. So her commander's name is going to be something Andred. Let's see, Arthurian name generator. Can we get a fancy? We can get a fancy name generator. Fantastic. Let's get a male name. Blaze? Blaze 100? No, that sounds too stupid. Harriet. I think I like Harriet. Let's go with Harriet. With Harriet Andred. Is that not how you... Is it double R? Yeah. She walks into a strategic meeting with... she walked into a war room with Harriet and the Trishkarian commander who has been and the visiting Trishkarian commander Marshal Nucifera. Marshal Nucifera. 1R. Doesn't matter. I made this name up. I can spell it however I want. I really can't put this in a good enough position so that you guys can still... Oh no, that works. No, except you can't see the start of the sentence. That's okay. The visiting Trishkarian commander, Marshal Nucifera. So, the party find this memory crystal. This alien is swarming its insects around this memory crystal. They defeat the alien apparition, and they check the memory crystal, what's inside of it, by using an action just holding it, and they see this cutscene play out from Larissa's memory. And they see that she's been called to speak with her commander, Harriet Andred, who is speaking with a visiting Trishkarian commander, Marshal Nucifera the Earless. What's a cool word for the unhearing? No, that doesn't sound cool at all. The silencer. The silenced. Let's do that. Does that make sense? This character has no ears. So, Marshal Nucifera has no ears. Do you think that they would get the name the Silenced. The Deafened, maybe? Let's go with the Deafened. The Deafened. There we go. Marshal Nucifera the Deafened. She walked into the war room with Harriet and the visiting Trishkarian commander, Marshal Nucifera the Deafened. There is a, what's it? There's a blueprint? Blueprint showing a ship's design on it. And the two end their conversation. I feel like there needs to be a dialogue here. I'll figure out the dialogue. I think that I don't need to write down the dialogue. I'm pretty sure I can manage that in game. So we don't need dialogue here yet. I can come up with it on the fly. There's a blueprint showing a ship design on it, and the two end their conversation. What else? Nucifera takes their leave, while Harriet informs Larissa about... While Harriet begins to speak. We have found the... So... we need you to get... we have found the... Okay, what was the name of this relic? I think it's under myths. Let me go to... So part of the reason why Larissa is imprisoned is because Cinderia believed that she knows the location of a heretical artifact. Now, this heretical artifact is part of a cult known as Euralianism, which is like a cult. It's sort of like a heresy of Danteism, which is the main tiefling religion in the game. Let me see. Religious figures? Not figures. Tiefling religion. No, not there. Euralianism. There was something. Urail. Okay, is it here? The Anthology of Saint Urail. Here we go. Let's see, Heret. Oh, wait, where is it? The Anthology... Yeah, it's the Anthology of Saint Urail. What page was I on? Back here? Yeah, I need to finish up the quest here. The dialogue. We need you to find the Anthology of Saint Urail. We need you to collect the Anthology of Saint Urail. The deafened sound good? Fantastic. I mean, what did you say? We need you to collect the Anthology of Saint Urail. I think I like how that's turning out. No, maybe we should say, your next mission is obtain the Anthology of Saint Urail. And this is where the memory crystal is going to end. End it with an ellipses. So, the memory crystal starts off with Larissa has been called to a meeting with Harriet Andred, her commander. She walks into the room where she sees her commander, Harriet Andred, and this Marshal Nucifera, this Trishkarian commander, visiting. Also known, who she knows as the Deafened. looking over a blueprint of a ship. So this, I think, is very good foreshadowing, a very good plot. What is it? Not to jerk my own horn, of course, but I think we've done a pretty good job so far of leaving breadcrumbs, basically. Oh man, it's been 3 hours? Normally my streams take about 2 hours. I normally end after 2, but I got quite invested in this one. Plus we're going a little bit, maybe a bit too much over, honestly, because of the delay to the start of the stream. But yeah, okay, what else? So let me go back to Foundry. So let's head back to Foundry. Let's head back to, not Underground, let's go back to Cinderia. So, how are we finishing off this quest? So this quest is going to be finished off. They are going to find the partial apparition. They're going to kill him, most likely. I'm not sure if it's going to speak. I don't think it's going to speak. I think it's really just going to come by and... Oh yeah, we did spend quite a bit of time talking about D&D characters as well. Yeah, that is true. That is true. But yeah, once that's killed, out here the plants are all going to start to wither and they are immediately going to wilt. It's going to literally be... Are they even going to leave that way, or are they just going to teleport back? They might just teleport back. In that case, I mean, that's going to be up to the party, I guess. Oh, I could make it so they can't teleport within the cave, but I think that's just a bit too cheap. There's literally been nothing that says that they can do that. But yeah, there might be 2 partial apparitions in that case. First partial apparition here, second partial apparition will be in the town, which should be fine. I think, I'm not quite sure, but I think the town map might be combat ready. Let me just check distances here. No, each square is 35 feet. Okay, definitely not, definitely not. It looks gonna leave another cart and horse, but oh, that's right, you took the cart and horse. You're correct. So Lotus probably will not teleport away in that case. He won't use it out of teleportation to warp you guys back to town because you have the cart and horse. And honestly, I think Lilith is gonna might not be here for the rest of that. But yeah, there is. So they're gonna need to try and find out where Lilith has gone, our ranger. But yeah, more than that, there's going to be some other things that are going to happen, and I know, Liger, you're not going to remember. I fully trust you on that. But I am going to leave what else happens a secret, because I have another plan as to what's going to happen. So it's not just going to be the plants wither and die, but something is going to change in town as well. Yeah. Maybe I should also foreshadow that as well. No, I don't think the Zion would make memory crystals of itself. Can't even remember what you had to eat yesterday. Why would you remember that? Why is it important to remember what you had yesterday? I find this, I hate it when people say, hey, you can't even remember what you had for dinner yesterday. Why would I need to remember what I had for dinner yesterday, right? It's not important. It's really not important at all. Don't say that I have a bad memory because I can't remember what happened yesterday. It just wasn't important, man. If you want me to remember it, be more important, right? You need to make sure you're balancing what you eat. Oh, to make sure you're balancing what you eat. Well, yeah, I suppose. But yeah, okay, I think that is pretty much it for what we're doing today. Let me take a look to see if there's if any of our streamer friends are doing any streaming. Marsomatic? Let me see. Let me mute here. Oh, okay. I think maybe we can send you guys over to Marsomatic. How do I do this again? Let me go ahead and do raid channel. Yeah, let's do Mars. Okay, so this is going to be the end of the stream. Mars is cool. Oh, I'm glad. Yep. But yeah, let's head back to the Amaranthia map. Finally, I am messing around with stream schedules. So if you check below the stream, you'll see a stream schedule, and it should tell you what streams are going to be what. That's going to apply from next stream onwards. Not going to be this stream, this week. It's going to be from next week onwards that I'm going to try it out. I want to increase my streams to 3 days a week, so I'm going to be streaming on Saturday in the morning for me. That I know that might not be accessible for our American viewers, but I just want to try it out. So I think one stream I'm going to do is going to be black and white. The other streams I'm going to do is going to be a story stream, so maybe like a visual novel or something like that. And then we're going to do a D&D stream. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming by. I hope you all have enjoyed. I'm going to be putting this up on YouTube. You can find all of the information using the buttons below the stream. So if you want a link to the YouTube channel, go ahead and check below the stream and all of that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope